Y'all. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, howdy y'all. Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. Back from our trip to Melbourne in Sydney and Tasmania, and I lost my wallet. Actually, no. Well, I did lose my wallet, and then it was stolen, so I had, hopefully this isn't too loud for the camera. I apologize if it is, but I lost it on the train, public transport trains, and someone stole it, and then just tried to make a purchase, not just, but earlier today, tried to make a purchase at KFC, and it got declined, so haha, loser, that's what you get. I just think it's funny. The first place I went is KFC, and they bought like a $50 meal, and they weren't even able to get it. It's such a loser. But anyways, we got push today. There we go. Finishing up on the pregame. I'm a little rushed today because we got to go to the gym early because it's Labor Day, so it closes a bit earlier today. But yeah, we're doing the 50 reps of 135. Yeah, we're gonna do 50 reps of 135. I think that's a good way to get back into it and see how my shoulders and wrists and thumb are feeling. And we're gonna do that for today and see how it goes. And then it's just a normal push day. And then also, I got a new workout shirt from a thrift shop. So hopefully I haven't lost too much muscle mass over this break. Obviously, I know that's not how it works, but you know, just me getting back into the swing of things. This is not the one I wanted. Where is it? Here we go. It's like the exact same color. So, but yeah. So that's what we got. It smells weird. I washed it obviously because it's from a thrift shop, but it still kind of smells odd. But yeah, that's what we got going on today. So hopefully y'all enjoy, and I'll see y'all at the gym. Wow. There we go. Alrighty, y'all. So we are going over this push day. Now, I am a bit behind in recording, so I do apologize. I'm actually like a week behind in my videos. It won't seem like I am for you because I'm still getting them up when they need to be up, but for myself in terms of reporting, I am. But regardless, besides that, moving on. Back from break, which is great. I wanted to take this first day back from break, like ease into it a little bit for my shoulder, my wrist, and my thumb. So I start with a bit lighter than normal on barbell bench press. Normally I'm pretty big in starting with 2 plates, but I decided I should probably start a bit lighter to kind of engage how I'm feeling with my shoulder. And I'm really happy with how it went. I really enjoy how I'm moving the bar, how I'm controlling it. And I got 6 reps there towards the end, but like I said, I was going really slow. I was really happy with my control, and I'm gripping the bench like this now. I didn't realize that, like, I just always, like, close my hand around it, but, I mean, I guess I kind of thought this was suicide grip, but suicide grip is like that. So I know a lot of people bench with their thumbs out like that, and I actually liked it a lot, and it helped, and I felt it all in my chest. There wasn't barely any, like, differentiation in what I was feeling in my shoulders. And just kind of following that theme, I moved on to this incline bench press or incline machine and started a bit lighter, and it felt really good. You know, slowing down the reps, going lighter, really helped a lot. And as for my thumb and my wrist, they were still a little sore, mainly my thumb, my left-handed thumb over my wrist where I was having inflammation and whatnot. Oh, and the doctor, I don't know if I ever brought this up, but the doctor said it's most likely tendon or ligament inflammation, and that was obviously before my 11-day break, and I did a really good job at resting and rehab during that break, and so I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think I'm doing pretty good. So, and then continuing on, I wanted to for sure go a bit lighter when it came to the shoulder exercises, as obviously I'm getting back into seeing how my shoulder is feeling, and it felt pretty good. I went a lot lighter than I normally do. For my lateral raises, I decided to go with the 8-kilo dumbbell, and I decided to try this workout. I've seen it a few times, and I'm like, you know what? I do the chest supported lateral raises anyways. Might as well try doing them unilaterally, and I really liked it. I do think in this first set, I started going a bit too far back, which would activate my rear delts a little bit more, but for my next 2 sets, I did adjust, and I did start going more like out and more to the front. It was just, I was kind of trying to figure out how, you know, it worked as well. I wasn't really watching a video or anything, but I really liked how it felt. Definitely plan on doing those in just like my normal workouts and integrating that in my routine as like a variation, because I still do think cable lateral raises are kind of the best that you can be doing for your shoulders. And I did 8 the entire time. I know I was getting it for all my reps, but like I said, taking the day a bit lighter. I do kind of for all of my workouts this week. From at least a majority of them, I moved down a little bit. And moving on, got these cable push downs, or not single arm, but like just together, not unilateral. I think I could be getting up a little bit higher. However, I'm pretty happy with the control of this movement. Really, also along with lowering that weight, just truly focusing as always on that form and controlling the movement. I was okay with it. Probably could have gone up more, but like I said, rather play it safe today and start lighter. But now that I'm a bit more comfortable and I've kind of gauged where my injuries are at in terms of when I'm recording this voiceover, it's going to start going up a little more. But again, I'm like 5 videos behind in recording, which I plan to get up. I'm gonna get caught up, I promise you. But then moving on, some single arm cable push downs, and with these, it's kind of weird because I just kind of spat. Sorry if you saw that, but I can get in the right position with my right arm and it feels right and like normal and whatever, just how it should feel. And when I get in position with my left arm, and I don't know if it's because I'm right arm dominant or what, but I just felt like I couldn't get into the right angle, I guess, of the workout. Sort of like, how I was angling myself to the cable like this and whatnot, and trying to figure out where the cable lines up best. I still think it worked out just fine. However, it was not as good as the right, and as you can see, I think that I had the cable a little bit low as I'm almost headbutting the cable, so that's a little mistake on my part. Oh, excuse me. And then to finish it off, got some single arm rear delt flies. Now, I wanted to do, obviously, as I've always said, for rear delts especially, I always want to do the machine rear delt flies, but since the only one they have here is the, what's it called, the pec deck, it was taken. And so the cable kind of sets in between, like above and below where I would have the ideal arm height for my lateral raises. So I decided to go a bit higher and just kind of go down, like at a slight angle, rather than going like starting down and going up. That way I'm not like trying to flex my mid delt as much, taking away from that rear delt. So I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, but from personal experience, that's just how I felt is the best way to go about it. And so finishing these up, I tend to keep my arm, I don't keep it completely straight while I'm doing the workout, as that can kind of feel weird for at least just for me and my shoulder. If I keep it just slightly bent, I'm not like using my tricep or anything, to hold it in place, I suppose, but if I keep my arm just slightly bent, like kind of like that, while doing the movement, I felt like I was able to get the most focus in my rear delt that I could. And then obviously moving on to posing, I love being able to watch my posing because majority of the time I get to see myself after a good pump and I'm like, wow, I do look good, because when I'm recording these I'm like, I don't look that great, but I'm happy with how we're looking. I'm taking the posing a lot more seriously, as I feel like I haven't been. Like these side delts, I'm really focusing on holding the movement. I always try to remember to smile, because obviously if you're on a bodybuilding stage, you're gonna be smiling for a lot of the poses, I'm pretty sure. I want to do bodybuilding, but it's weird to say. So this is how I've, sorry, this isn't really talking about my posing. I'm pretty happy with how, I like how I look there, so I'm good with it. But as kind of contradictory as this is to what I'm doing, I haven't looked that much into the performance side of bodybuilding, the lifting, the nutrition, that stuff. I know a good amount about. I know a lot about, I'd argue. But in terms of the actual competition and requirements and what you have to do, I have not done enough research, and I need to. And as much as I want to be I'll just wait till I get closer to when I think I'm able to perform, I need to get looking into that now. I don't plan on obviously doing any bodybuilding performance until I'm back in the United States, but probably close to when I leave to go back home to the States, I need to start looking into it so I can actually get ready to compete. So, but I still need to lose a bit more weight before there. But of course, I am happy with how I'm looking for my posing, and then I got cardio for you guys, and I'll see you all back at the apartment. Alrighty, howdy y'all, back at the apartment. And did you know that in Australia they actually label their products with ratings. I'm trying to get it to focus. Yeah, there you go. 3.5 star rating in terms of like itchy nose, not in terms of itchy nose, of health, which is weird because it's not a required thing for companies to do, but, or at least from me and my buddy's knowledge, but you can opt into it, which is weird because you would think that companies, because like for instance, this Sprite Zero is healthier than a Powerade, which I guess you could argue obviously there's sugar, but you know, Powerade's promoted as healthy and like better than like a soda would be, even the zero version of it. Now I'm sure the zero version of a Powerade is probably more healthy than this, and I think what gives Powerade that lower rating is just the sugar content. But it's just kind of weird because why would you think like anyone would want to opt into it if their product isn't like healthy? Now I guess you could say like with Powerade they would obviously have that zero version, and with Sprite they have the regular version. So the whole brand is just roped into the grading, so they can't just choose Sprite Zero to grade and not grade a regular Sprite. But then that also shows that, you know, some of your products are not healthy. But I guess another like marketing form of it could be like, oh, you know, even though product isn't good, at least this company's open and honest with what they're promoting. But I feel like in the US the rating would probably lower like consumerism for a certain product or whatnot. But I mean, that's just me. It's also really interesting to see what some things are rated here, like a Coke, like just without like Coke Zero, same with Sprite Zero is a 3.5, but a Coke is like a 0.5, which is crazy. Now, I would never have guessed it was like that bad. I guess it is on their rating. I know it's bad, obviously. I just didn't know it was that bad. But yeah, just an interesting little fact. In like what was it, meat? I think I got beef. I got 10% fat beef because that's like the lowest it could go, or at least that I could find. No, I think it was 8% actually, and it had a 4-star rating, and I'm like, whoa, it's not a 5-star rating. I don't even think the eggs have a 5-star rating. I think they actually might be a 4.5 or something, which just makes me think like, what's a 5-star? It's like lettuce a 5-star because there's like no nutrition, but there's also like no bad. Like obviously vegetables are good for you, vitamins and whatever, but like the nutrition on it, there's like nothing. So I guess that could be a 5. So I don't know. It's just really interesting and just something that I never would have thought about like doing, I guess. At least it doesn't cross my mind in my regular everyday activities. So just a little snippet of Australia. So yeah, but as always, I hope you all enjoyed the video and I hope you have a wonderful day.